Book 280, Meet Japan's Women of the Sea. 80-year-old diver dives into cold waters without an oxygen tank to harvest seafood using a centuries-old tradition. In Japan, there exists a group of women known as the ama, or Women of the Sea. These traditional free divers have been collecting seafood from the seabed for generations, relying on their breath-holding abilities and knowledge of the ocean to gather their catch. One such ama diver, 80-year-old Reiko Nomura, has spent most of her life diving for abalone and other sea creatures. The ama tradition is particularly associated with the Toba and Shima areas of Mie Prefecture, where many of Japan's remaining ama continue to work. Ise-Shima's coastline, with its bays and rich marine environment, has provided the setting for this distinctive fishing culture for thousands of years. Ama diving is not simply a matter of swimming underwater and collecting whatever can be found. The divers depend on detailed knowledge of the coastline, seabed, and marine life, as well as judging weather and sea conditions before entering the water. Traditional fishing rules are designed to prevent excessive harvesting, reflecting a long-standing understanding that the ama communities depend on the same marine resources year after year. Despite the physically demanding nature of the work, some ama divers continue to work well into their 70s and 80s. However, the number of ama has fallen sharply over the past several decades, with Japan's National Tourism Organization reporting that there were about 9,100 ama across Japan in 1978, compared with roughly 2,000 today. The decline in the number of divers is not the only threat to the tradition. Ama communities also depend directly on the health of coastal ecosystems, and changes in marine resources can affect the species they traditionally harvest. Despite these pressures, ama diving has not disappeared, and there are still over 600 ama working in Mie, with Toba and Shima remaining the heartland of the tradition. The remaining ama divers continue to enter the water using breath-hold techniques that have been passed down through generations. Some work well into their later years, while others eventually move into roles that allow them to share their knowledge without continuing the physical demands of diving. The tradition of the ama divers remains an important part of Japan's cultural heritage, and efforts are being made to preserve it for future generations.